Sinead, Gurmagat, Ceann Corla. I mean, it's hard to know what's left to be said about this debacle, other than for me to really be very, very critical of how your government has behaved, Minister, over the last 2 weeks. You brought us in here, into repeated committee meetings, onto media debates, under a pretence. And that pretence was that you were willing to engage and listen to the concerns of the opposition, of the women of Ireland, of those of us who really marked out the repeal movement, but you haven't listened to anything. In all of this, it was just talk down the clock, drag it out, and pretend that we're going to give the opposition some kind of change to this very convoluted, complex document, and to assuage their fears about wording around clinically appropriate, and continue to argue against them about the ownership of the land. And what I've found remarkable throughout this whole process, and I've been involved in all of the debates, is the fact that the Minister can sit there happily and say black is white. And you can pick up a document, I could pick up a document, read to him, say, no, that's not what St Vincent's Holding say. They say black is black. And he'll get back up and you say, no, black is white. And you've done it today. And your speeches here today have done it. In fact, Stephen Donnelly's speech starts by saying, we now have the urgently needed secular, public and co-located hospital. It is not co-located. It is fully integrated with St Vincent's Healthcare Group. It belongs to a group that has public, private and St Michael's. And that's very, very clear from the documents and from the business case that St Vincent's Healthcare Group make. It is also being paid for by public money. The taxpayers out there who today, tomorrow and next week are struggling to make ends meet in this era of hyperinflation are watching this unfold, while a huge chunk of their taxpayers' money is going to fund private suites for consultants in a public hospital. Outrageous. And it is being done under a cloud of secrecy and doubt and dismissing of people's concerns with the legacy of the Church, and in particular the Sisters of Charity Order in this state. To dismiss that is utter, utter disgraceful hypocrisy from a government. Of course, I know your own personal position, because you led a very active campaign to try and secure a no vote in the repeal movement among your own party. You led that campaign personally, and obviously your position on the question of choice has not changed. And this is the worrying thing, because as we move forward into a new era, let's say Sinn Féin continue to top the polls, let's say they sweep the next election and trump all of the rest of the parties out of it, and we attempt to form a left government. That left government, with this document, will never be able to take full control and ownership of our hospital that was built with public money. Never. Because one of the clauses in the reduced rent is to say that St Vincent's Holdings will never be challenged by the state and taken off the pitch. Right? So just bear that in mind. And also bear in mind that people more conservative than you on the question of reproductive rights could someday be in control and could actually challenge the legal rights that we have, the meagre legal rights that we've gained through repeal. I just want to point out one other hypocritical act. We can't CPO. You're going to delay it, you're going to delay this, you're going to delay that. And it's always put in the context as if those of us in opposition caused the last 9-year delay. The last 9-year delay was the fault of St Vincent's Healthcare Group and the Sisters of Charity, who were utterly determined to hold on to the ownership of that land, despite whether it was morally right or legally possible or not. And you say we can't CPO. Here's a document of a CPO order on St Vincent's lands in Ellen Park from the NTA. The NTA, the National Transport Authority, are CPOing compulsory purchasing land from the nuns to build bus connects. Now that has been done, will be done without a whimper. We could not do it on behalf of the women of Ireland. Disgraceful.
Deputy Murphy.